As you know, my friends, I make a living by selling words. And as a physician, a long time ago, I realized the power of words and the power of speech to either heal or to wound. Words can uplift and foster understanding and build relationships, but they can also harm and divide and create lasting emotional scars which affect our physical well-being. So I want to explore with you briefly the transformative power of speech through both Eastern wisdom traditions and some recent work by a friend of mine, the late Marshall Rosenberg, who wrote a seminal book called Nonviolent Communication. So first let's address nonviolent communication, which I like to positively frame as conscious communication. So Marshall Rosenberg's work emphasizes empathetic dialogue to foster connection and understanding. And his work is based on 4 key components. Number 1, observation. Focus on facts without judgment to avoid triggering defensiveness. 2, feelings. Express emotions authentically, distinguishing them from thoughts or accusations. Number 3, needs. Identify universal human needs, underlying emotions such as safety or belonging or whatever. Nonviolent communication seeks to create a methodology that replaces coercive or judgmental language with compassionate communication that meets the needs of all parties involved. For instance, instead of demanding, "You never listen to me," one might say, "I feel unheard and need more understanding. Would you be willing to discuss this?" This approach fosters empathy and mutual respect. By addressing conflicts with compassion, conscious communication transforms speech into a tool for healing relationships and resolving disputes. So how about the concept of right speech in Buddhism? Right speech is a core element of the Noble Eightfold Path in Buddhism. It avoids, or rather, I should say, it emphasizes avoiding harmful speech such as lying, divisive speech, abusive language, and idle chatter, and encourages truthful, kind, and purposeful communication. The Buddha reframed these abstentions positively. He said, "Speak truthfully, promote harmony, use gentle tones, and ensure speech benefits others." So it helps others, creates joy in the listener. Right speech is not merely about refraining from harm, but actively cultivating mindfulness in communication. For example, avoiding gossip fosters trust. Speaking kindly nurtures peace. Sharing meaningful words uplifts others spiritually. This practice aligns with the Buddhist view that speech has karmic consequences. Mindful words contribute to personal liberation and collective well-being. So these 2 methodologies, conscious communication and right speech, share a commitment to using language as a tool for connection rather than division. Conscious communication focuses on empathy, complements right speech's ethical framework by ensuring that communication is not only truthful but compassionate. And together they highlight how mindful language can resolve conflicts and bridge differences. So, the power of speech lies in its ability to either heal or harm, through the principles of conscious communication and right speech, we are reminded that mindful and compassionate language can transform relationships, foster understanding, and create harmony in both personal and societal contexts. So, with that as an introduction, or maybe I'll go a little further. You can apply conscious communication in everyday conflicts by following these practical steps. Number one, observe without judgment. Focus on facts rather than assumptions or evaluations. For example, instead of saying, "You're always late," say, "I noticed you've been 30 minutes late the last few days." And this would create a neutral and non-threatening environment for discussion. Secondly, express feelings honestly. Share your emotions without blaming others. Use "I feel" statements to communicate authentically, such as, "I feel frustrated" when timelines are delayed, instead of "you're messing up my schedule." Number three, identify needs. Recognize the unmet needs behind your feelings. For instance, if you feel frustrated, it might stem from a need for reliability or collaboration. Clearly articulating these needs fosters understanding. 4, make requests instead of demands. Frame your desires as actionable and respectful requests. For example, say, "Can you let me know in advance if you'll be late?" rather than demanding, "Don't be late again." This invites cooperation and avoids defensiveness. 5, practice listening actively, active listening. Listen empathetically without interrupting or formulating a response while the other person speaks. Use affirmations like, "I hear you," "I understand how you feel," to build trust and mutual respect. And finally, or maybe not finally, almost finally, validate emotions. Acknowledge and validate the other person's feelings to create a safe space for dialogue. For example, say, "I understand this situation is stressful for you," instead of dismissing other people's concerns. And seek common ground. Focus on shared goals or values rather than differences to foster collaboration. This approach helps transform conflicts into opportunities for mutual growth. And by consistently practicing these techniques, conscious communication can help resolve conflicts peacefully while strengthening relationships through empathy and understanding. I hope this is useful. My next video will be how this affects healing through the placebo effect and hinders healing through the nocebo effect. Take care, my friends.